Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. It is Innistrad Crimson Vow release weekend, and when we look at price trends this week, you're going to notice that, believe it or not, the new set isn't having a huge impact on prices. There's just a lot of random things happening in the market. Overall, it feels like maybe there was a slight price adjustment this week. There's a lot of cards moving between $1 and $2, but not a whole lot moving more than $2, which is interesting. So we're going to dig into all of it in just a second. Quickly before we get into the details though, just a fast reminder, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pick up Innistrad Crimson Vow products there. They do have the Commander decks on a separate page, so I'll leave 2 links below so you can find what you're looking for easily. Plus, they have a whole lot of other things on their website. Remember, if your order is over $100 or it consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And whenever you use that promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. We're going to begin this week with the Pioneer Legal Spotlight, and these are the cards that are Pioneer Legal moving the most this week. And this is going to be another week where we have a $2 threshold, so I'm not going to discuss any card unless it's moving at least $2. Also, it is a little too early to talk about cards from Crimson Vow because they haven't been out for a week yet. We don't have a good baseline. Next week, we should start incorporating those into the video. With that being said, until we get to the Modern segment, I don't have a lot to talk about today, so let's look at the one card that's here. It is Shivan Dragon from Revised. It goes up 263 to 2249. Technically a Pioneer Legal card, but really this one's moving because this particular copy is a little dry online this week. It is found in Commander Dragon builds at times, and some other decks too in that format. And that quickly brings us to the Modern Legal Spotlight. We have a number of cards going down in value we're going to look at first, and then some going up in value. First, we have Sword of Fire and Ice from Double Masters. It goes down 304 this week to 5501. This is seeing a little less play in the post-Modern Horizons 2 Modern meta, but it still gets a little play. You'll see this in Modern Death and Taxes, Stoneblade builds. It is also a very popular commander card in many different builds. Next is Relentless Assault. This is the copy though from Portal 2nd Age. It goes down 339 this week to 1489. And this is retracting after some recent increases. Again, this particular copy of the card got dry online recently, but now this week there are a few more copies circulating out there. It is in Commander Tovolar Dire Overlord / Tovolar the Midnight Scourge builds, and much more. Birds of Paradise, the copy from Revised, goes down 358 this week to 2958. This recently was reprinted in the Artist Series Mark Poole Secret Lair with this original art. This particular copy, though, in recent weeks has been dry online yet again. So, like the previous card, we are seeing some more copies circulating and the price is normalizing back down a little bit. In Modern, you're going to find this in Yawgmoth Sacrifice, Abzan Flicker, and Legacy it's in 4-color Zenith, 4-color Flash, Alurin, and it is a huge commander card in many different decks. Craterhoof Behemoth, this is the one from Modern Masters 2017. It goes down 363 this week to 4695. This has been reprinted again now in Secret Lair Extra Life 2021, which is why this particular copy is soft. It's in Legacy Elves. It's also a very popular commander card in Lathro Blade of the Elves and much more. Teferi Time Raveler from War of the Spark. It goes down 382 this week to $20.49. And there's a lot of reasons this card is going down. It's banned in Pioneer. It has been reprinted recently in a Secret Lair called Teferi's Time Trouble. Plus, it has been going up in value quite a bit recently, so maybe it was due for a natural retraction either way. However, the reason this card is always going to be sought after is because it sees a ton of play. In Modern, it's in so many decks. 4-color Blink, Azorius Control, 4-color Omnith, Reanimator, Indomitable Creativity, 4-color Elementals, Thopter Combo, sometimes Crashing Footfalls, and more. Legacy, it's in a lot of places too. Jeskai Twin, Bant Control, Jeskai Counterbalance, and Vintage. You'll see this in Bant Archon, Azorius Standstill, and it even sees Commander play in Atraxa Praetor's Voice and much more there. Polluted Delta from Onslaught. This continues to retract after some recent increases. It goes down $6.21 this week to $100.69. Originally, these Onslaught fetch lands got hot when Time Spiral Remastered came out. A lot of players got interested in retro frames again, and then they started to cool off only for Modern Horizons 2 to come out. That shook up that Modern meta. Players had to rebuild decks, create new ones, and the fetches started to move up again. Now things have been normalizing a little bit. I think they're trying to find their new price point. This one is dropping a lot this week, though. Like all fetch lands, this gets extensive play in many builds in multiple formats. You'll find this card in modern decks, legacy decks, vintage decks, and of course Commander too. Red in 6, this is the copy from the list that was there through Kjell time. It goes down 751 this week to 109.49. Not too long ago, Wizards revealed that we would be getting another Double Masters set next year, Double Masters 2022. They showed art from this card, so it looks like there's going to be a reprint coming sooner than later. And I do think that's why the card is softening up. Again, it sees play in a lot of different decks, though. Modern, it's in Jund builds, 4-color Omnith, 4-color Blink, Indomitable Creativity, Gruul Midrange, Saheeli Combo, Kiki Chord, Nib to Light, and more. It is banned in Legacy, but it does show up in Vintage Teamer Control, and it's in Commander, Lord Windgrace, and more there. Mystic Gate from Shadowmoor is back again. Like I said last week, this card is very turbulent. It goes up one week, down another week. This week it is down, 806 to 39.50. So again, this is some retraction based off the spike we were seeing. It's trying to find its price point. It is seeing more modern play, which is why the card got hot to begin with. You'll see this in Azorius, Jeskai, Esper, as well as Bant Control. This is also a solid Commander mana-based card too. I have seen some players picking this up to upgrade the new Commander deck Spirit Squadron. Also, this would be good to have in a fresh Commander build around Millicent, Restless Revenant from that deck. Last card going down in value is Lord of the Undead. This is the original copy from Plane Shift. It goes down 833 this week to 28.21. So this was on the list all the way through Midnight Hunt. It came off with Crimson Vow, and I do think that is worth noting. Also, some of that hype around the zombie tribe is starting to move along to vampires, maybe spirits to some degree. So you are seeing a lot of these zombie cards retracting now. Recently, though, it did see a big spike when Midnight Hunt came out and people wanted to grab this to add to the Undead Unleashed Commander deck or put in fresh builds around Wilhelt the Rock Cleaver. First card going up in value is Goblin King. This is the copy from 10th edition. It goes up to $2.53 this week to $11.97. This is in many Goblin Commander decks, including Krenko Mob Boss. And next year may very well be the year for Goblins. I mean, when you look at the type of sets that are coming out even in Standard, it feels like that they could fit into many of them. Also, we have 4 different Warhammer 40k Commander decks coming out, and Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate will be out next year too. Yawgmoth Thran Physician from Time Spiral Remastered. This is still hot, going up $2.65 this week to $28.19. In Modern, it's in Yawgmoth Sacrifice. This is also a fairly popular commander, and it's in the 99 of many builds too. Now it is showing up in some deck lists around a new card from Crimson Vow, Toxrill the Corrosive. Next we have Doubling Season, the original one from Ravnica City of Guilds. It goes up $3.36 to $78.69. Copies of this card have been relatively soft since the Double Masters reprinting, but recently they have been slowly showing some signs of life again. This is a very popular commander card in many different builds, including Attracts a Praetor's Voice. Wrath of God, the Portal copy, goes up $3.49 this week to $17.48. And I think you know what I'm going to say here. This is an example of a particular copy of a card drying up online for the week. And because of that, the price starts to bump up a little bit. I don't really think it's going to stay here. I'm sure in another few weeks, more copies will come back. This was reprinted too not too long ago in the Our Show is on Friday, Can You Make It Secret Lair? It does see play, however, in Modern Boros Control. It is also a very popular commander card in many different builds. Very similar story for this last card in this section. Denizen of the Deep. This is the one from Portal 2nd Age. It goes up $3.96 this week to $30.52. Yes, this price is inflated. No, I would not pay over $30 for this card. You can get a different copy of it much cheaper easily. Or if you just go to your local game store, if you really want this copy, I'm sure you can find it cheaper. This is just one of those things where you get that online anomaly where there's not enough copies in circulation. So when it comes to gameplay, sure, this can see a tad bit of commander play currently, but it really doesn't see that much. I suppose this movement could be tied into Runo Stromkirk / Krothus Lord of the Deep, but in reality, I've yet to see a deck list around that commander using this card. Maybe this is just a bad spec for some people out there. And that brings us to the Vintage Spotlight. This is where we talk about cards that see play in Legacy, Vintage, 93, 94, or cards that are just popular among collectors. And today we do have a lot of cards that actually truly see play in Legacy and Vintage. And again, we're going to have a lot of those unlimited cards jumping, things we've been seeing for a while as well. Now in this section of the video, remember that the prices you see on the screen are going to be very reminiscent of what you might see on a price tracking website. And those prices, at least for the more iconic cards or the older cards, They tend to be some kind of mixture of the value between high-grade raw and high-grade graded copies, so just keep that in mind as we go through. Now, if I do see true sales not lining up with these prices, I will let you know. First, though, we have Retro Fitter Foundry up $2.40 this week to $30.01. Seeing a lot of legacy play. Of course, the Urza Saga card that came from Modern Horizons 2 is a big reason for that. You're going to see this in Legacy 8 Cast, Curses, Jeskai Standstill, sometimes lands in Death and Taxes, even Painter. In Commander, this is in Brea, Ethereum Shaper, and more. Mycosynth Lattice, the copy from Battle Bond, goes up $2.41 this week to $41.41. Now, this is banned in Modern, but in Legacy and Vintage, it frequently comes out of the sideboard of decks playing Karn the Great Creator. In Legacy, this is in Curses, Mystic Forge Combo, Azorius Bomberman, Urza Echo, and Colorless Cloudpost. Vintage, it's in Prison Shops, Azorius Standstill. This also is a solid Commander card in many builds, including Oscar the Reconstructor. Another popular Legacy card here with Chrome Mox. This is the one from Double Masters. It goes up $2.41 this week to $69.74. Legacy decks that run this are Curses, the Epic Storm, Blood Moon Aggro, Oops All Spells, Ruby Storm. Also, it is a very popular Commander card in a lot of builds, including Urza Lord High Artificer. Mana Vault, this is the 5th edition copy going up $2.57 this week to $73.80. In Vintage, you'll see this one in Paradoxical Outcome, Prison Shops, and Aggro Shops. Very highly played Commander card too in Urza Lord High Artificer and much more. Plateau from Revised, not a big percentage increase here, but it goes up $2.76 this week to $348.25. Yawgmoth's Will from Urza Saga goes up $4.13 this week to $279.99. In Vintage, this is in Paradoxical Outcome. Commander, this is in Kess Dissident Mage, and some other builds there too. Good old Mana Crypt is moving up again. Double Masters up $382 this week to $163.36. Eternal Masters goes up $497 to $175.99. Sees a lot of Vintage play. Esper Tinker, Prison Shops, 8 Cast, Paradoxical Outcome, Aggro Shops, sometimes Oath of Druids. Very highly played Commander card too in Urza Lord High Artificer and much more. One more revised dual land going up. This is Bayou. It is up $9.27 this week to $575.07. Livonia Salone. This is up $10.43 to $96.45. Rock of Courages from Unlimited goes up $12.23 this week to $98.99. As a matter of fact, all the rest of the cards in the section that have white borders are from the Unlimited set. So I won't keep repeating that. When you see a card with a white border, just know it's from that set. City of Traders. This is up $12.53 this week to $316.68. So this is in Legacy Sneak and Show, Curses, Blood Moon Aggro, Mystic Forge Combo, Azorius Bomberman, Ruby Storm, Eldrazi Stompy, sometimes Painter, all over the place in that format. Also, it has been seeing a little more competitive Commander play recently as well. In general, in Commander, this can show up in a variety of different builds. Time Elemental from Legends goes up $12.55 this week to $67.50. Blue Ward is up $12.74 to $30. Chaos Lace is up $13.93 to $32.52. Feels like maybe somebody or a small group of people are targeting some of these lesser valued Unlimited cards now. Things like this in the previous card. Ice Storm, this is up $15.68 to $90.98. Cockatrice is up $19.51 to $69.96. Lion's Eye Diamond, this is up $22.12 to $5.99 this week. Another highly played Legacy card here in lots of decks. Doomsday, 8 Cast, the Epic Storm, Madness, Mystic Forge Combo, Azorius Bomberman, Ruby Storm, sometimes Painter. It is seeing some increased Commander play as well now in a couple of new builds. Grolnak the Omnivore, as well as Eruth Tormented Prophet. Gaia's Cradle from Urza Saga, this is going up $22.42 this week to $1,044.99. Although if I pulled the prices at the exact same time this week as I did last week, I don't think this would be increasing by quite this much. But with that being said, it does see play in Legacy Elves, Banned Flash, also it's in Vintage Squee Hollowvine. Great Commander card in many builds if you are lucky enough to have one. I have seen this show up in some Grolnak builds as well. Lord of Atlantis, this is up $24.05 this week to $109.65. Repentant Blacksmith from Arabian Nights, this goes up $30.60 to $112. Jade Monolith is up $31.09 to $54.71. Hezazan Tamar is up $36 to $344.99. Blaze of Glory up $48.49 to $177.45. Vesuvan Doppelganger, this one's up $67.50 to $662.47. Solkanar the Swamp King from Legends, it goes up $101.80 to $198 in theory. Is that for real? Well, high-grade raw copies can sell for about $125. I have not seen any high-grade graded copies sell for a while, but when one does, it could hit this price, maybe even a little higher. Very similar story with this card here, Mishra's Factory. Now this is the Antiquities Winter variant that you see on the screen. It's up in theory 116.19 this week to 917.68. I have seen high-grade raw sell for about 580 to 590. Haven't seen a high-grade graded copy sell for a little while, but when one does, yeah, maybe it can get to this price point. Mox Emerald up 748.75 this week to $8,000. Is that for real? I have seen high-grade raw copies sell for about 5,300. And yeah, I have seen high-grade graded copies go for about this price. And finally for this section, we have Jizam Jin. This goes up 787.91 this week to 4,499.50. So again, is this realistic? Well, raw copies can sell in high grade for about 2,000. I have seen high grade graded copies go for about 4,000. So this price isn't completely out of the question for one of those. And that takes us to the Commander Spotlight. Rather short Commander Spotlight this week. Again, like I said at the top of the video, very odd week for the market. Not really sure if maybe people are just waiting for Black Friday sales. Perhaps we'll see a lot of activity next week. But regardless, all the cards in this section are moving, at least in part because of Commander. There could be other influences too, but I'll let you know. Here's one particular copy of a Zombie Lord still moving up a little bit. This is Zombie Master from 6th edition, going up $203 this week to $20.77. And this is moving for all the same reasons Lord of the Undead was moving up recently. Temporal Manipulation. This is another card from Portal 2nd Age, a little dry online this week. It's up $213 to $54.99. This does get Commander play in Narset Enlightened Master and more. Alper Markov from Commander 2017 only comes in foil. This goes up $274 this week to $119.74. This card has gotten quite expensive. There is a reprint coming, but it's a Judge foil, so there's not going to be a lot of copies of it getting into circulation. It is an extremely popular Vampire Commander, and of course it is getting a push due to the Vampire support in Crimson Vow, as well as the new Commander deck, Vampiric Bloodline. Phyrexian Altar, the copy from Ultimate Masters, goes up $383 this week to $89.99. We've been seeing the Invasion copy go up a lot recently. This one was lagging behind, of course. Moving up a little now, though, so keep an eye on this card in general. There is a lot happening with it. First off, it's a great Commander card and combo enabler in various builds. You even see this in Alper Markov occasionally, which could be part of the reason it's gotten hot. Also, I've seen it show up in some Commander Toxrill decks too. Previously, zombie players wanted this card. They were picking it up to upgrade Undead Unleashed or put in fresh Will Help builds. And since Crimson Vow was just previewed, something happened, which typically happens when a new set is previewed. People start looking for ways to combo this card with some of the new ones. One example would be this card, Feign Death and Necroduality, as well as Repository Scab. This also combos with Millicent Restless Revenant from Spirit Squadron, along with Bile Urchin and Enduring Renewal. Yeah, everything combos with this in Enduring Renewal, it feels like, but nevertheless. Beyond all that, this additionally got a Command Zone podcast mention this week as a card that could work in an infinite damage combo in another new Commander deck. They were talking about Henrika Domnithy / Henrika Inferno Seer. And the point was simply, you just have to make an infinite mana combo there, and there are a number of ways to do that with Phyrexian Altar. Plus, if that wasn't enough, this also showed up in an Olivia Crimson Bride deck on game nights this week too. Between all the exposure and just the fact that this is a very good card in Commander, I would expect this to move up more. Survival of the Fittest from Exodus. This goes up $384 this week to $267.47. And this is in a variety of different Commander decks, including Kenrith the Returned King. This last card is kind of interesting. Frenetic Efreet. This goes up $29.80 this week to $45.75. This week Wizards announced their new round of Secret Layers, and believe it or not, they included a Commander deck this time. And it is a coin flip Commander deck. A lot of those key coin flip cards are getting reprinted there. The commanders are Zendersplit Eye of Wisdom and Okaun Eye of Chaos, and this being a reserveless card that uses the coin flip mechanic took off immediately as soon as that announcement dropped. Alright, I don't have a premium spotlight this week. Now, there are premium cards moving, but I usually don't like to focus in on things that are just dry for the week in the market or cards that are being targeted for buyouts. I like to choose things that are moving because of current events, a new deck that's pushing it, maybe a preview card. But I didn't see a lot of that happening this week in the premium market. I'm sure next week we'll have some premium cards to talk about. But until then, hey, if you made it to the end, thanks for being with me. As always, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.